From bizarre COVID conspiracies to social media mayhem, here's why so many DC fans hate Zachary Levi. Fans of the popular DC superhero franchise Shazam were left in shock and disbelief when the star of the show, Zachary Levi, tweeted that pharmaceutical giant Pfizer poses a real danger to the world. Fans found the actor's comments alarming, and Levi's initial tweet was followed up with a link to a 2009 press release from the Department of Justice, which claimed Pfizer had paid out $2.3 billion as part of a fraud settlement. Levi claimed this was just one of many reasons why Pfizer's a danger to the world, and fans were quick to accuse Levi of being an anti-vaxxer. Later, Levi clarified that his comments were not related to Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine, but to the company's past illegal activities. One fan replied to Levi's tweet writing, "Imagine tweeting this when you have a new movie that's about to come out." This was a reference to Levi's film Shazam! Fury of the Gods. In response to Levi's tweet, some fans even tagged Mark Ruffalo, another actor known for his outspoken criticism of pharmaceutical companies. One fan urged Ruffalo to help Levi understand how to be a critic of Big Pharma without playing into anti-vax propaganda. While it remains to be seen how Levi's comments will impact his relationship with his fans, or Shazam 2, some fans feel his comments could lead to Levi being left out of the DC reboot, which is being spearheaded by James Gunn. In the wake of Levi's comments, many fans took to Twitter to voice their opinions, and some were outraged, while others saw the funny side. And the drama doesn't stop there. A clip from the Joe Rogan Experience shows Levi expressing his admiration for Jordan Peterson, a right-wing self-help guru obsessed with an all-meat diet. In the clip, Levi calls Peterson one of the deepest thinkers he's ever heard break down human behavior.
I think one of the deepest thinkers that I've ever heard break down human behavior. I don't know, just an understanding of all that stuff, and I think good wisdom along with it is Jordan Peterson, I think.
And the timing of the episode is notable. It was released shortly after Peterson was suspended from Twitter for making anti-transgender comments about actor Elliot Page. What's even more disturbing is that in the clip, Levi doesn't correct Rogan after he dead names Page, a term in the trans community that means referring to Page by his previous female name. Viewers were disgusted at Levi's apparent lack of sensitivity and awareness regarding transgender issues, given the ongoing fight for transgender rights. Levi and Rogan's comments are troubling, and the drama just doesn't stop. Levi has a history of causing controversy on social media, and back in 2018, Levi found himself in hot water for a tweet in which he expressed his opinion on the role of white men in discussions about racism and sexism. He tweeted, saying that men can't lead meaningful conversations about sexism, and that white people can't lead meaningful conversations about racism, is both sexist and racist. Truth doesn't care about privilege, nor do those who seek it. The tweet received backlash from people who accused him of being insensitive and out of touch with the experiences of marginalized communities who've experienced discrimination and oppression. And in 2020, Levi took to social media to express his empathy toward Trump voters, stating that many of them backed the former president not because they liked him, but because they felt he cared about their needs. Don't get me wrong, freedom of speech is an incredibly beautiful thing. It's a right and freedom that men and women have died to protect. But sometimes, it really feels like a double-edged sword, used for good and for bad. Levi can't seem to help himself from making controversial statements, and I can't imagine what he hopes to gain from this in the long run, because he's only hurting his own brand and image. Recently, Levi tried to shift the blame and responsibility for the failure of Shazam 2 to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Sources close to Levi claim that he blames Dwayne Johnson for Shazam 2's box office failure. Just last week, Levi shared an article suggesting that Johnson had kneecapped the sequel, and on March 21st, a report surfaced that Johnson had killed a post-credits scene featuring Levi's character, which would have been a significant marketing boost for the film. Levi posted a screenshot of the article on his Instagram story and wrote, "The truth will set you free." He then accused Johnson for Fury of the Gods' poor box office earnings in an Instagram live video. Not surprisingly, Levi received a lot of backlash for implying Johnson was at fault for Shazam 2's weak reception, so he tried to clear things up by saying, "The reason I decided to share that was not because I want to blame anybody for anything. It's because I do not want to be blamed for things that are not on me. And as a leader, I believe a protector of my family, my Shazamly, and everyone who worked so hard on these movies, we have been doing everything we can to fight for you, the fans. But Levi wasn't finished yet. Turns out he had a lot more talking to do after Shazam 2 failed to make an impact with fans and critics, who slammed the movie for its mediocre and unimpressive plotline. Levi's desperately trying to salvage what's left of his reputation, and in a viral video, he made a controversial comparison between Shazam 2 and John Wick 4, claiming that Shazam 2's better suited for families than Keanu Reeves' latest action thriller.
I love Keanu Reeves. If you want to go see John Wick, go for it. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to. But John Wick's not a family movie.
Way to state the obvious there, Zach. Is it just me, or is Zach playing a game of how low can you go here? And I think that what we're seeing here is proof that Levi will stoop to the lowest of lows to try and repair not only his reputation, but the nasty reception his latest film has received. At this point, I feel like all of this is sad, and that Levi reeks of desperation, a quality that anyone in Hollywood will tell you is extremely off-putting. Considering the earth-shattering reception John Wick 4 has received, and the critical praise for Keanu Reeves and director Chad Stahelski that just keeps pouring in around the clock, it makes sense that Levi's anxiety is peaking. Also, I can't help but detect hints of jealousy here. I mean, why else try and attack John Wick 4? My advice to Levi is to choose his projects more carefully, instead of constantly chasing the almighty dollar. You know, what Keanu does. And stop trying to blame others for the lackluster performance of your films, because it's not a good look. If anything, point the finger of blame in the mirror. We can just add Levi's latest remarks to his long list of controversies. But what are the repercussions of these controversies, and will they have an impact on the future of DC? Following Levi's controversial statements, fans urged James Gunn to pull Levi from his role in Shazam: Fury of the Gods. In response to Levi's COVID-19 vaccine comments, Gunn said it looks like Levi could use a social media break. Couldn't agree more, James. Couldn't agree more. However, with Levi still being cast, fans feel Levi's managed to avoid any consequences from James Gunn. And whether that's for better or worse remains to be seen. Director David F. Sandberg revealed that the entire film was completed and ready to go before Gunn and co-CEO Peter Safran took up their new roles at DC Studios. However, I'm sure the studio's nervous about the film's release and reception, because one thing's for certain, DC fans are united in the fact that they hate Zachary Levi. And there you have it, ladies and gents. From COVID conspiracies to social media mayhem. That's why so many DC fans hate Zachary Levi.